into the mirror, I can see a clearer vision. I should start living today, 'cause today is gonna be the day, it's gonna be the day. 'Cause today's gonna be the day, it's gonna be the day.
Alright, so first things first, your name, Patty Crash. How did you come up with your stage name?
I didn't actually come up with it. I was originally called Patty Cake when I was rapping with the Chosen Few, and that came from Neek, one of them calling me, said I looked like Peppermint Patty, and then Patty stuck, and then Patty Cake just seemed gangster, so I kept it. And then I crashed. I had some. I had a car accident. I was with the Roots, and I hit somebody's car, and then people just started to call me Patty Crash.
You said while you were with the Roots you had the accident?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was actually in DC. But I don't know, you know what, wait, I'm just going to say this right now. I don't know how much of that I should say on like interviews, because I still worry about that.
So you're real animated. What were you like as a kid?
Animated, I guess. Weird. I lived on a farm for a lot of my childhood. I was like obsessed with horses. I would just like crawl around and just like, I had the most amazing childhood because it was like, I'll show you guys pictures of it. There's just like volcanic mountains, the ocean, rivers, horses. I used to break horses.
Damn. So how do
I
you
used to have like a tape cassette player and have like, I had a salt and pepper tape out there because I used to come to school in America and go back to Iceland in the summer.
Oh, okay.
Push it.
Push it, yeah. And I was young as shit.
That's good. So how do you like living in the city now compared to how you grew up? All that?
I always miss going back, but I know I need to be here just because I'm in love with music and trying to get rich and famous. I can't do that on the farm.
When was the last time you've been back?
It's been like almost 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I used to go back every year because my mom used to pay for my tickets, and it got really expensive. And then my mom and my sister both moved away from Iceland. My sister lives in Sweden now, and my mom was in Switzerland, so I would go to visit them instead of going back to Iceland.
So you're the star of a very entertaining show, The Adventures of Patty Crash. Did you always want to be a performer?
I always wanted to be a singer ever since I was little. I used to like want to be Tina Turner. I remember that specifically. And I always knew I was always like imagine myself being singing and performing. I took like acting classes and drawing and sculpture and like all kinds of art. But my father was a singer-songwriter, so I think that's why I leaned towards singing and songwriting.
Okay, so he was a singer-songwriter in Iceland?
In Iceland, yep.
Oh, okay. Based on The Adventures of Patty Crash, you lead an interesting life. How has signing your deal impacted your development deal impacted your
oh my god, I quit my job. I've been working at coffee shops for like 3 years straight. The whole time I've been doing the Patty Crash show, I've been working part-time at a coffee shop. And since I got it, I quit my coffee shop job. And I wake up, I go to the gym, and I write songs all day. It was a little weird at first because it was almost like a shock because I just like didn't see people anymore. I didn't need to work. There was no routine. It was like everything is on me to do everything. But I'm getting used to it. It's not that bad.
Were there like any other labels that you might have been shopping around at, or any other?
We didn't shop anywhere else. We went. That was the first place we went.
Okay.
Nice. So while we're talking about shows and reality shows, do you have any guilty pleasure TV that you keep up with?
Yep, all of reality, trashy television. I was a huge fan of Bret Michaels. Ray J, for the love of Ray J. Like the Ocho Cinco, like I feel like they're just like a little downgrade from the old shit. Like they're not as good as they used to be.
Yeah. Jersey Shore, any of that stuff?
No, I can't get down with Jersey Shore. It's just not my thing.
Flavor of Love.
Very good answer.
I was down with Flavor of Love, yeah. New York, I Love Money, all that shit.
I hated New York.
I hated her.
Yeah, she was crazy.
Alright, so you were discovered by one of my favorite MCs, Black Thought. I know you probably told that story a million times, so let's get down to what's really important. Did you hold your own against Thought and Dice in the cypher?
Yes, and I don't know if it was because I was fucking trashed, and I didn't know who the fuck anybody was. I was just like going for it. Real hard. And it's funny because I gave actually Kamal my demo because I came with this girl who knew Kamal. And Tariq got the demo, and I thought he listened to the demo because he called me that same night and asked me to come. When I got to Philly, he's like, I haven't even heard the demo yet. So it was all based off of I guess him just meeting me and me being right place at the right time.
Yeah, nice.
Beat down the cypher. What was on the demo that you gave him? Was it just you?
Yo, they were demos that I recorded in Hoodbridge, Virginia, with V Sharp, this producer. Okay. It's like basement hip hop backpack shit at the time. It was like I recorded the shit literally with like a sock over the mic, and we had a mattress in the shit, and it was mostly samples and I was writing a lot of hooks at the time, but I wasn't a singer because I didn't think I could sing that good, so I was having like other singers from the neighborhood sing the hooks, and it was like my manager now, Rich, who manages the Roots, he has the demos, and I listened to them the other day, and it's so crazy to hear.
Have you always been a big fan of the Roots?
No, I mean I wasn't like not a fan. I've never been like a super cult follower of any one group just because I moved so much, and the hip hop that I got introduced to when I moved to America, it was like Tupac and Biggie were popping, and I lived on the West Coast when I first got introduced to hip hop. So the East Coast shit I wasn't really like up on. And there's Dice. Is that Dice? Yeah. Yeah, but I'm discovering them almost more now that I'm going back and listening.
Okay. So besides How I Got Over It, do you have a favorite Roots album? Yeah.
No, I think How I Got Over It is my favorite album.
Alright, so since we're talking favorites, you mentioned in another interview that you're a big fan of Lady Gaga. Are there any other artists out right now that you really like?
I like Nicki Minaj. I like Gaga. There's so many artists out. There's just like an overload of people. Like some of my favorite people are my friends who have bands in Philly. You know, yeah. There's a lot of dope shit. I don't know right now off the top of my head. I'm more into songs.
Could you name your favorite song right now, or a couple of your favorites?
I'm still stuck on this Beyonce song, Why Don't You Love Me. I know it's old. It came out a minute ago. People slept on it. I don't know why they slept on it. It was really dope. And I'm listening to that new Nicki Minaj and will.i.am song. Yeah. It just came out. Check it out. It's kind of cool. But I always keep like Beatles and old music in my playlist. It's normally my default. I check out like the current pop stuff, but I normally don't have it in my iPod.
You'd mentioned Tina Turner earlier. What about any other deeper influencers? I mean, like a lot of entertainers say so-and-so's the reason why I got into the business in the first place. Do you have any artists or role models that you feel directly influenced?
Not a musician. It was really more my dad, and then like I was a fan of more of the people rather than sometimes the music. Like people think I'm crazy because I really like Courtney Love, and I don't think she's maybe the greatest musician, but I read her biography and like you can just feel her shit. I think I'm influenced more by people rather than like songs and albums. Lauryn Hill, I was definitely influenced. Like I was really into Lauryn Hill.